Good morning, class. Today for our Art History Friday, we're going to talk about Jose Guadalupe Posada. He has a strong tie to the Day of the Dead, so I thought it was a perfect time of year to cover him as an artist. He's a really, really cool artist, and I think you guys will enjoy him. So he is a big muralist. He is a printmaker and an engraver as well. He started off making political cartoons, making fun of Mexico's really big foreign debt, and then kind of the colonization of Cuba by the US. So a lot of his artwork is prints making fun of what's happening socially. And then later on, he produced political prints that were about national heroes and symbols. And it was just a lot about politics. So a lot of his work instantly became controversial for this reason, and his shop doubled as a meeting place for members in the community to come over, discuss about political issues, social issues, and kind of just as a meeting ground for people in his community. So he did a lot of relief etching on zinc. So one of his most famous one is a calavera, and this one is super famous. I'll show you guys a picture later. This print is about Porfirio Diaz, who was the president of Mexico, and he established the world's largest dictatorship at the time. And so this was one of the very controversial etchings that he did because it was about the president of the time. The print focused on him as a young general who distinguished himself at the Battle of Puebla during the French intervention in Mexico in 1855. Diego Rivera is also a huge artist in Mexico. You may have heard of him. He was married to Frida, and they worked closely together. Diego said that Posada was so closely associated with the spirit of the Mexican people that he may end up just an abstraction, and he's kind of right. Okay, Posada was really a big deal and was very influential, and people really idolized him. Another famous Mexican artist is muralist Jose Clemente Orozco, and he knew Posada when he was young, and he would used to walk by his window on his way to school, and he would just stare at his artwork and really got inspired by him and credited Posada to influence his own artwork. So Orozco described Posada saying, "Posada is the equal of the greatest artists, an admirable lesson in simplicity, humility, equilibrium, and dignity, a strong contrast indeed to the hatred and the servile attitude so common today." So Orozco and Diego both said that Posada was a big influence, and he influenced the muralist movement as well. So Posada's best-known work was for his cavalleras, and they had various costumes. This one is called Katrina. She is the school of the female dandy, and really this is a huge part of the Day of the Dead currently, and kind of since Posada. So the painting was meant to make fun of the life of the upper class during the reign of Diaz. He was a Mexican president. Most of his imagery was meant to make fun of the political views or religious views going on during that time. Okay, he was very political, and this portrait or this artwork got released after his death, and the image has now really been associated with the Mexican holiday, the Day of the Dead, and even though it was meant to make fun of the upper class during Diaz's reign, now it's really associated with the Day of the Dead. People like to dress up as the Katrina, and it's really cool. So here are some of his most famous artworks. These are really cool. He does a lot of skeleton work, and I want to point out that he's not using skeletons as like a sad, dreary thing. It's more of like a celebration of life. They're not afraid of death. They're excited about life. It's not supposed to be scary or dreadful or anything like that. All right, here's a video. I'm going to see if it will let me play it. We are going to work on this next week as well. So today we are just going to focus on getting the grid, and I'm going to make a whole separate video on that. Each of my classes are doing a different kind of grid drawing. So I'm just going to show you guys how to do a grid drawing, and then I will put you on your way. But before we talk about that, let's just recap really fast about Jose Posada. So he was really cool artist. He did a lot of printmaking, muralist work, things like that. He is now really big associated with the Day of the Dead and the La Catrina. And he was just a really influential artist to Mexican artists all over the place. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and watch my next video and so we can talk about the assignment. See you later.